Seal Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So the much anticipated New York Comic Con Doctor Who panel happened last night. The virtual panel happened last night, pre-recorded. They left the comments on there. I was quite surprised with that, and the likes and dislikes. They left all that on. And yeah, I have to say, if I was a fan of this era, which I'm not, it's the first era I'm not a fan of. I actually absolutely detest this era. If you're not new to my channel, you would know that. If you like it though, God bless you. Got nothing against you whatsoever. But if I was a fan of this era, I would be both upset, annoyed, and very, very nervous. Very, very nervous. We're going to be going over the whole panel. I've watched it, so you don't have to. It was reasonably painful. And I think there are quite a few takeaways from there. We're going to be reading the 2 Radio Times articles that they generated. Screen Rant did 4 articles. I mean, really? It was an utter non-event, but they did all that stuff. Before we get into that, though, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? Can you hit that share button? But mostly, can you hit that subscribe button? Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for all of you subscribing. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week is Power of the Daleks. This is the first animated version. I mean, did Ian Levine do a bootleg animated version of Power of the Daleks? I really don't know. He did a bunch of them. Mission Unknown, that was actually quite good, but I prefer the live action one. Those college kids filmed a year or so ago. That was really good. Anyway, all you need to do to win it, is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag, what is the hashtag? I am your servant. Hashtag I am your servant. We're going to do the giveaway on, what day is it? Today's Fridays, Sunday the 11th. Sunday, October the 11th, when I'm on the TARDIS Zone. We're going to be doing a watch along of the fantastic episode, the Shakespeare Code, Catherine Roberts episode. So I'm really looking for that. We'll do the giveaway then. We pick out a new prize, and fun times we had by all. Fine. So let's talk about this Comic Con panel, which was how would I categorize it? Bit of a disaster. I think bit of a disaster if you're a fan of this era, you know. So firstly, it's weird. Firstly, it was really weird. It was strange because they're operating in a universe where they don't seem to know that this season really did very badly. They're operating. They're kind of acting like the season did really well. That was it was well received. And yeah, listen, it's just math. It's just the metrics. By every way that we define something to be a success or failure using metrics, everything we call Doctor Who successful using those same metrics now, it's a failure. It was a massive failure. And it was just weird. It was just weird that you had Mandip Cole there. Mandip Gill, Jodie Whittaker, and Bradley Walsh. And it was just weird that they were completely unaware that the season 12 went down really badly. It was really. I mean, yeah, I would have thought if they weren't unaware of it, they wouldn't kind of lean into all the massive mistakes that they made in the season. They highlighted this. That was strange. In hindsight, I think this panel, which was a complete non-event, was an utterly complete non-event, which says a lot in my mind. I think this panel was a contractual obligation from HBO and BBC America. You know, it was there basically to plug their services. And really not that much more, not that much else. Added on to that. There's a lot of things that have been, a lot of rumors that have been dispelled, which is good. You know, Radio Times, I think 4 weeks ago, wrote an article saying, in the next few weeks, Doctor Who's going to start filming. Now, I thought that was a bit strange because there has been a regime change at the BBC, and according to the trade papers, there's a real power shift going on as a whole level of management gets hollowed out, gets made redundant, which I think they're using the pandemic as a way to do that, and they're being replaced by people from BBC Studio, which is where Tim Davie, the new Director General, came from. So is it a theory? Is it a rumor? It seems pretty factual. Again, just looking at Tim Davis' statements and the stories in the trade papers, that Tim Davis is not on board with the former Director General's approach of TV, where they he was very much a believer that the BBC had to lecture, boring lecture the British public because they weren't doing what they were told. They were voting in ways that they weren't told to, and they didn't. And they're like, I don't understand. That's not what we said to do. Okay, fine. So what they did, they inserted a lot of finger wagging and lecturing into freaking everything, and that's why I think Piers Wenger, the biggest upper class twit of the universe, said that Doctor Who was in fantastic shape editorially, because editorially it was following the BBC editorial line of ideologically lecturing the audience. But the audience doesn't really like being lectured, and so they switched off in droves. And I think the damage has really, really been done. I don't think they're coming back at all. So the Radio Times did tell us 2-3 weeks ago. 3 or 4 weeks ago they're going to be starting filming in 2 or 3 weeks. No, so they dispelled that rumor. That was the first thing. They completely dispelled that. They extended that till the end of the year, if at all. I doubt they're going to be filming this year. I very strongly doubt they're filming this year. My takeaway from it was that nothing's going to be decided until the metrics come in from the festive special. God forbid they call it a Christmas special. God forbid they call it Christmas. A festive special. And if that does badly, which I think it's, I can't imagine it doing well under any circumstances. This is the Doctor Who that 600,000 people decided they would rather jump out of a window than watch. Country File was on, Doctor Who, and people were watching it. Doctor Who came on, everyone said, no way. 600,000 people said, get me out of here. And then they came back when they bought another 500,000 people when Call the Midwife came back on. This is not a popular or successful era of Doctor Who in any way, shape, or form. So it seems to be anyone who can read numbers knows that, right? It seems, and again, if you like this era of Doctor Who, God bless you. Nothing against you. It's not popular. It's not working. So that made it a little bit strange. Because it started off talking about the worst moments in season 12 that made it not popular. One of the first things they talked about was Bradley Walsh talked about his ultimate cringe-inducing speech to Diaz, saying she was the bestest ever, which made no sense, because why? What had she done to be the bestest ever? The other takeaway is Mandy Gill looked pretty good last night. And she doesn't normally look pretty good to me. She looked pretty good last night, so good for you there. But whoa, she doesn't seem to be the brightest spark, right? She doesn't seem to be the brightest spark. She seems like somebody who should be working, acting in a soap opera. Something that doesn't require that much thought. I had the revelation the other day when I did a video about her. God, just did this interview, and she was so vacant that her place in life is probably the perfume counter at Boots. If they still have Boots, the chemist, the pharmacy. If they still have that, that strikes me. That's where that's where she should be in life, and she's just completely in over her head. So they talked about that scene, which was just totally cringe, and then they talked about Mandeep's stunning and brave. What was it? Bandit Stunning and Brave storyline where she overcame bullying, and that was all in the space of one episode. It was terrible. They kept pointing to the worst bits of Doctor Who, and it was bizarre. And then they said, and we're not going to tell you anything at all. We're not going to put any effort into telling you anything at all about the upcoming special, Revolution of the Dalek. There was no trailer. They released 2 pictures that made it look pretty darn dull. It made it look pretty darn boring to me. No trailer, nothing, no Chris Chibnall. If you're a fan of this era, they could have done a lot more for you. And I just don't think they care. And I don't think they're bothered. I don't think they care, and I don't think they're bothered. It's because I don't think there are many fans of this era. They're not popular. It's just not popular. Fine. So Radio Times then dropped 2 articles talking about this, because somehow, at the end of it, they ask, when are they going to start filming? And Jodie said, now this was very, very pre-recorded because she was still wearing the same outfit that she promoted the Comic-Con panel, that little video that came out about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So this was pre-recorded by quite a while. She said they're in prep for filming, and they hope to be filming before the end of the year. That's very non-committal answer. That's a very, very non-committal answer indeed, and it gives them plenty of wiggle room and get out. It's a get out of jail card, and it just destroys the rumor that they're filming right now. There was a rumor came out this week that they're filming this, and it seemed ridiculous at the time. Fine, so let's look at these articles from Radio Times. So first, this is the first picture from Hugh Fullerton. New Doctor Who Festive Special. Don't say Christmas. Festive Special pictures and synopsis. There was no synopsis. Show Jodie Whittaker in trouble. Yeah, so she's out of her doctor outfit, which I just hated that outfit. She's been in jail for a long time. She's like, putting numbers down on how long she's been there. Seems to be quite well. What a shock! She can't escape. What a shock! This doctor can't escape. I tell you, they write this doctor 100% accurately in that they always write her that she's a moron. She's an absolute moron. So she's trapped in jail for a long time. She's in a red jumpsuit, and there's nothing about this that feels like Doctor Who to me. The Doctor's still imprisoned in Revolution of Dalek, leaving her TARDIS fam to face off with her greatest enemies down on Earth, greatest foe down on Earth. So it seems like this will be a Doctor Light episode. I think they worked out what's the secret source that doesn't work in Doctor Who. What is that secret source? And the secret source is Jodie Whittaker. If they put Jodie Whittaker in anything, it's not very good. They had that bright idea with Time Lord Victoria. So let's do Doctor Who things that we can all sell and it'll be really cool. And to make sure people will buy it, we're not going to put Jodie Whittaker in it at all. Sounds like that she's not going to be in this at all as well. Fine. After months of waiting, this is stuck. This is there we go. After months of waiting, Doctor Who fans are finally getting some new details about the eagerly awaited, not by me, festive episode of Revolution of the Daleks. And I still can't believe she got that damn name wrong when she was on, who was it? Oh God, it was so embarrassing. The guy from Closing Time. It was so embarrassing. I felt bad for him. Listen, I've seen that guy play a cat before in Cats. He was a bigger pussy. that interview. With 2 pictures and a short synopsis revealed for the special during the New York Comic Con panel. I know, it was like literally nothing. And what they revealed was boring as hell. Like, maybe a Dalek? Yeah, maybe put a Dalek in doing Dalek-y things. Maybe put a trailer. It's just like, it reeks of disdain for the audience, including the freaking fans of this era. It just reeks of just pure, unrelenting disdain. Again, Chibnall, you could have recorded something to talk about the process. You could have shown some props, some behind the scenes. You could have done anything to generate interest. I think you're just a lazy bastard. That's basically it. I think you're a lazy bugger. That's really where I think you are, mate. The first picture above shows Jodie Whittaker unkempt and jump. She was perfectly kempt. Look at her hair's in a jumpsuit. Scratching away in prison cell to mark the time she's been trapped there since the end of series 12 finale. Stay there for freaking ever, as far as I'm concerned. Never come back. Despite being filmed well before lockdown, viewers may feel sympathy for the sci-fi blah blah blah. Can't anyway, I'm fine. Well, okay, without giving away any spoilers, because they didn't give away anything at all. Where we leave the Doctor in the final episode of season 12. This explores what happens when the Doctor is away from the gang. And the Doctor's point of view has no... They got a typo here. Really? Don't they do anything right? Has no idea about what's going on Earth. So she seems pretty isolated from the fam. And while she's stuck in a space jail, back on Earth, her TARDIS team are left adrift without her probably having good and bountiful life. Okay, listen. This is one of the pictures they released at Comic-Con. How much more boring can you get? I mean, like, you can interchange this with EastEnders or Coronation Street or Hollyoaks and not miss a beat. They're like, really? How insanely boring is this? It's just... I think they've given up. Which might mean they've given up, which is, okay. That could be a reason, couldn't it? That could be a reason why we didn't see any Chibnall and we didn't see any excitement whatsoever. I think they might have given up. And they might have given up because the game's over, right? The game's over. Could be, listen, speculation, rumor. I guess we'll find out when we find out. Spaceship, blah, 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 blah. And watching the space back and over time to leave a drift without looking less than happy in the second picture made available by BBC. They also appear to be hard at work with an investigation, and perhaps there's no wonder, given the newly released synopsis suggests that the Doctor gone, it's up to Ryan, Graham, and Yaz, Tosin Cole, Bradley Walton, and Gill to face off against the deadly Daleks. Well, they did better against the Daleks than Whittaker's Doctor did in that one Dalek episode, didn't they? Well, didn't it take like 12 of them to get rid of that one Dalek while the Doctor like faffed around and opened the door, and run unconvincingly? Really? All you got to do is run up and down a corridor. That seems to be something you should have been able to learn how to do, Jodie. The upcoming festivals will see the return of the Doctor. Okay, blah 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 blah. Far away from Earth, her best friend, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham had to pick up their lives without her, but it's not easy. Old habits. They think she's dead. Okay, they think she's dead. She left to nobly sacrifice herself, and they said, "Oh, Doctor, you're so wonderful. You're so stunning. You're so brave." They think she's dead, and then she found the bloke from Game of Thrones. Said, "Oh, you can die instead. It's okay, because I'm not a hero." Because she's not. Because she's a dummy. Far away from Earth, her best, and blah 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 blah. How can you fight a Dalek without the Doctor? Again, well, they managed it pretty much well in Resolution. We're back in Sheffield, because nothing says wonderful adventure, wonderful, exciting sci-fi space adventures than Sheffield. Yeah, nothing says that more than Sheffield. We do then come across a plot to do with a Dalek, one Dalek, and we go, okay, she's taught us a lot of things, but how are we going to fight a Dalek without the Doctor? Again, she was basically the bus driver in the 2 seasons. She was awful. She was awful in every way. I'm like, how can you not go on without it? It's pretty easy. How do we, as 3, save mankind? Maybe get UNIT. Oh no, you had to get rid of UNIT for a Brexit gag. Yeah, it was one of those many ways the BBC like to wag their finger at the British electorate. Say, no, you didn't vote the way we told you to. It's very disappointing. We got to lecture a bit more, and we all know how that went down. Okay, he's going to say normally it's a job for UNIT or torturer, but these days the TARDIS fan might have been told to hold off on hold off the Tin Pot terrors until the Doctor can make her escape, especially considering rumours of a mass inter-Dalek conflict taking place. And so it's called Revolution of the Daleks. It means the Daleks are having some kind of revolution within them. I like, really? Okay, is there anything here? Still, whatever happens, there's literally nothing in Star Wars. Still, whatever happens, we're sure it'll be a festive fun for all Whovians. No, it won't. All Whovians at home. Of course, they didn't even give you the date of it's going to be over. Of course, exactly which festivities it will tie to is unclear, with the BBC not only noting that Revolution of Darkness is coming during the upcoming festive period, but not confirming whether the story will stick to the New Year's Day release or move back to Christmas Day. Again, for me, I hope they put it on the most exposed time slot possible. And yeah, again, I think there's a lot to be read into where they program it. So basically, nothing over here. So now, because this is bad news for the fans of this era, right? Because this is bad news. There's no sign of filming happening. There is no sign of filming, and I think they definitely want to put forward the idea that everything's fine with Doctor Who. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. Debbie Double Dosey. Everything's fine. It's not. It's not. And again, I think this is spin. I think this is media manipulation. This is manipulation and spin. Basically propaganda. That's what I really believe it to be. Because if there is some kind of like civil war rift in BBC between Cardiff and studios, I think BBC Cardiff will want to make it look embarrassing for BBC Studios if they, pull the rug out from underneath this era of Doctor Who. Which they should do if they care about this property at all, because it's suffered terribly. It's lost 70% of its audience, but I think it's so bad. It affects other things. I think Tyler Victorious has sold worse because of the current era of Doctor Who. I think it's sapping out interest in Doctor Who in general. I really do, because I think it's that bad. I can understand in board meetings they say, well, maybe if we change the Doctor and aesthetically change it all, that should give us a jump start. It's not going to do it. It's not. That's a half measure. They need a whole measure. They need a whole measure, which is an entirely new production team and a back to basics. Back to basics approach, which doesn't mean not being moving forward. Doesn't mean suddenly that if your skin isn't white and you're not male, you're going to be made to stand in a backs or put you in a box so they can't see it, because that never happened. That's never happened before, right? The only people who think that's happened before are freaking crazy people who live on Twitter and run the entertainment industry. So this is really bad news that they weren't able to confirm anything about the upcoming season 30 of Doctor Who, because I think the upcoming season of Doctor Who, season 30 of Doctor Who, is in jeopardy. Again, the metrics to me seem insane that they would continue unabated. That's not to say insane things don't happen. Insane things happen a lot, but it does seem like a really bad idea. So anyway, they had to put out this puff piece, this spin piece, which makes it seem that all things are moving ahead. And again, we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you how they're not actually saying anything, which is how they do it. Bradley Walsh promises an unbelievable series when Doctor Who returns. If it returns. Again, they're hoping, they're in prep right now, whatever that may mean. And they're hoping to start filming by New Year, which again gives them saves face for them if they don't start filming by New Year. And I think it's all going to be dependent upon what the ratings are, what the audience response to Revolution of the Daleks is, and if they can't put out a win with the Daleks front and center. We're not talking about what the BBC publicity department are going to say. They're all going to say it's fantastic no matter what, but they actually have the real data. They will have the data of if people tune in for the first 30 seconds until they see Jodie Whittaker's face and they go, yeah, bye. They have that real data, and I think that's the data that's going to decide what's going to happen with this very, very valuable franchise that's very, very important to the BBC now, because the BBC are in a lot of trouble. The BBC have lost the support of the British public. British public now hates the BBC, and they're getting the opportunity of not paying for the BBC. So now it's moving into a commercial entity. It's not good news for them. It's not good news for them at all, is it? Fine. So let's read this spin. It promises an unbelievable series when Doctor Who returns. Well, he's not going to be in it anyway, hasn't he? Hasn't he already announced he's leaving? But I think they've given up. I think their last ditch hope is them pulling a win out for Revolution of the Daleks. Not going to happen. Fine. Like all TV shows, Doctor Who has been affected by the ongoing pandemic. Yes, but it's also been affected. Did the pandemic actually transcend time and space and make people stop watching it 7 months before months and months before the pandemic started? Yeah, this season aired. Season 12 aired when people where the weather was terrible. People were home at a really cushy Sunday night slot, and it failed. So yes, I can see them blaming everything on the pandemic. With the BBC sci-fi drama facing a more challenging filming environment than ever, as cast and crew face up to social distancing over health guidelines for season 13 shooting. Yeah. This is the excuse. And then they're going to say, well, we delayed it too long. I think it's time we just move on to a new team. Jodie Whittaker has to go off and do her thing. Chris Chibnall has to go off. And, baby, you have me at Chris Chibnall has to go. Yeah, they have to go off and don't go and do their own stuff. I would like to see them go do that. So I think that's the most likely end game. However, despite the difficulties, Jodie Whittaker has confirmed the series is in the process of returning to production. And according to co-star Bradley Walsh, who's not in it, I believe he's not in this show, the finished product will be worth all the trouble. Yeah, so did he say he's in it? No. He just saying, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I've nothing to do with it, but it'll be great. We're certainly in prep. So am I. Yeah, I'm also in prep. What we're all hoping for is to be filming before the close of 2020. See, very, very ambitious. That gives them complete deniability. Say, oh, listen, we did our best. Well, the pandemic. What can we do? What can we do? Yeah, right. Yeah. You smell something? What's that you smell? Is that dog? Is that cat? No, I smell bullshit. I bet you smell it too. Where's only blah 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 blah. Stringent lockdown over last week. But Bradley Walsh, who plays companion Graham in the series, suggests that when the series did eventually turn, fans would be happy with the result, describing as what comes next as unbelievable. Well, you could have described that season 12 as that as well. It didn't really go, again, look at this boring ass photo. If I was a fan, I'll be like, is this all you could give me? I think they've given up. Or it just could be Chibnall's an utter moron. Yeah, no, things don't change. Listen, this is going to be an unbelievable series, an unbelievable year of titanic proportions. Yeah, it sounds like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like in those WWE wrestling things before the match, and people go, yeah, I'm going to break his face. Yeah, I'm going to... Yeah, no, none of that's going to happen. None that's going to... it sounds like, all those people saying that Donald Trump isn't going to be elected from those, 2016 videos. You ever see those montages of, George Clooney going, there's no... Yeah. It's all spin. Interestingly, this comment does seem to imply that Walsh will be part of the series, part of the Doctor Who cast when film begins on season 13, with the previous rumour suggesting the Chase host is set to depart alongside Tosin Cole after the upcoming special episode Revolution of the Daleks. Listen, if they were supposed to depart then, they would have shot their departure scene, wouldn't they? I think, and nothing there said he's in it. He just said, it's going to be unbelievable. You'll love it. Yeah, it doesn't say I'm in it. I can tell you the new James Bond movie. It's unbelievable. You're going to love it. I'm not in it. I don't know anything about it, but it's going to be unbelievable. You're going to love it. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Perhaps, as has been rumoured, Cole and Walsh could still pop back for recurring roles in season 13. Yeah, that's possible. If they do a scene, who knows? Again, when they start filming is when we know. When they start filming is when you know they. Because believe me, they're going to tell you. And if they're going to change production team, they'll tell you that as well. That's good publicity. Them changing the production team will probably do the most to reinvigorate Doctor Who, which is it's a cratering franchise. It's really doing badly. You can see what Doctor Who is by looking where Star Wars is now, right? Because Star Wars is, people don't really care about it. Star Trek, people don't really care about it. Doctor Who, it's like push people away. They could be okay. After all, from the sounds of it, there's plenty of there's plenty that will be exciting about Revolution of the Daleks as well. Really? Right? Ken, let's look at this picture. Does that look exciting to you, Mr. Fullerton, Hugh Fullerton, the shilliest of the shills, paid in shillings? Does that look exciting to you? Look, if that looks exciting to you, I could recommend, go and buy a comic book. They're very exciting. Yeah, compared to that is dull as ditch water. That is not exciting. And there's nothing. Much like the Comic-Con panel, gave you nothing. It had no information. So for me, that indicates there is no reason to believe Jodie Whittaker will ever play the role again. There is no reason to believe that right now. I think if she does play the role again, it's going to be dependent upon the festive special performing well, and I don't think it's going to perform well. She might be come back for a regeneration. I kind of doubt that too. I think they're just going to reboot and start over. That's what I would do if I was Tim Davie, because you didn't have any real affection for Doctor Who, and you go, I got to see the connection now. If you don't, I think they just need to reboot and start over, and I think there's nothing to say. There's nothing to contradict that that's the plan right now, is there? And there's certainly nothing to say that they are going to be filming. They say, well, we hope to be. Yeah, okay, let's see if you get the commission. There you go. So the Comic-Con panel, it was just disaster. It was a disaster. It was just a disaster. They kept talking about things that were terrible. They took a while to talk about the socially awkward thing, saying how good it was. It was so weird. It was... It was, yeah, okay. You know what it was like? It was like, Berlin, 1945, after the fall of those naughty National Socialists, right? And they come out to the Nuremberg trials and they go, "Wow, wasn't that fantastic? We did what? How did we did so well during that war? Oh, look, it was seemed kind of similar to that to me, you know. It seemed kind of desperate. And again, if you see Jodie Whittaker back at Doctor Who, listen, I would believe it, but I would believe not as well. My name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.